Hi, welcome to the Comfy Cafe. I'm Matcha. What can I get for you? You've never really seen our cafe the last time you visited Liyue? I see. Well, we are relatively new, only established around a year ago, along with the changes in Liyue. Oh, and this particular franchise of the Comfy Cafe has only been in the works for a month. Oh, can't decide what to get. I do recommend today's special in our fluff menu. It's called Where the Wind Blows. A special mix made with a nostalgic base, a cup of homesickness, lots of witty remarks drizzled on top, a sprinkle of poetry, and subtle undertones of comedic relief. You'd like that? Okay. Would you want that in a small, medium, or large? We also have the choice for it to be iced. Okay then. Now that I think about it, Captain Beidou recommended it be a great pair with a small serving of our rainbow crepe cake. I think it was more for Lady Ningguang, but when you think about it, it does have complimentary flavors. You'd have that too on the side? Okay, I'll get to it then. Are you sure we haven't met? You remind me of a traveler. Say, while waiting, would you like to hear a tale? Well, you see. The smell of sea breeze softly permeated through one's nose, as if an opposing response to the tumultuous waves, which made its home in all the ears of those who boarded the Alcor. Meanwhile, the sun declared its bold rays upon the ship's haste departure of frenzied Inazuman waters. All beheld the rare sight, one contesting the spiteful skies you ironically grew accustomed to, accompanied with grumbles and strikes of tantrum from Celestia itself. Instead, a small tune promptly took its place, albeit differed from one you'd been humming whilst passing the hours. It proved quite the company as you try your luck with a string and bait, in hopes of catching tonight's meal. You had to admit, the change of scenery was very much welcomed, gazed upon choosing to traverse the waters as you finally gave in to Beidou's recurring invitation of sailing with her crew, and the thrill garnered upon multitude of travels that you would inevitably be roped in on. Whether it be the gods of your world or of this showing favor, you soon trotted amongst the crew members with a beaming smile and the trophy of a big catch. The welcome tune which served your company never once broke its melody, whilst your footsteps grew more silent.
Bah!
You smiled, succeeding in your hunt of a certain individual adorned in crimson maple leaves. But instead of surprise, Kazuha simply lowered his hands just enough to part his lips with a leaf which enabled his serenade to be one with the wind. In response, your face contorted pettily, jesting annoyance.
I had already sensed your presence long before your footfalls fell silent. I simply wanted to elongate rather than ruin your fun.
Well, you still kinda did.
Oh, I did. Now did I?
He teased, inevitably breaking your act.
Well, I was hoping the noise from the crew would have distracted you even a bit. But nothing ever gets past your keen senses. I know.
He just then resumed his aimless stare, speaking his response before laying the leaf upon his lips once more.
Your scent was also carried by the wind.
Your eyes squinted in doubt and consciously scanned yourself.
What? What do I smell like? Is it the fish?
His faint chuckle didn't ease your panic case, opting to outright respond to anything other than that of his musing being questioned. You knew it would have been a futile effort had you pressed on. After all, he was known for having words which often meant another, and lips sealed tighter than Kaya's if he so wished.
A keen sense of smell is an important asset when wandering, as it increases your chances of survival by a significant amount. After all, it aids in discerning danger in even the calmest of circumstances.
Kazuha smiled. You gladly returned it, settling yourself on the ship's edge.
You're right. Even the few seconds matter, especially in combat.
You reminisced, mind stuck on the memories where a breath could have cost lives. That of your own, and even others.
Life would have been so much easier if we could see what was gonna happen beforehand.
Kazuha glanced in empathy, letting out a sigh in knowledge that contesting your words would have been highly hypocritical. Even he wished his skills reached such extent, as such may have spared the life of his friend. But, alas, it was one simply foretelling the immediate.
But anyways...
You started, realizing the sullen demeanor you unknowingly managed to impose.
Come on, this fish won't cook itself. Come on.
The leaf he once held slipped from his grasp as your fingers took his hand.
I caught this for you after all. I wanted to try making that grilled fish that you once served in Inazuma.
With the sight of you beaming, he couldn't help but brighten as he willingly let himself be dragged away from the deck and towards the the kitchen.
You needn't do such for the simple sake of repaying me.
You look back guiltily, opening the door to the barren room.
Is it that obvious? But this isn't just to repay you. You're my friend, and I wanted to do something for you too.
He adorned an amused smile and let you have your way nonetheless. A friend.
Okay. You sit there while I try to actually remember how to make this.
He only watched you scurry, and even as you simply pulled ingredients from within your bag, it seemed you unknowingly unearthed something else within him. Warmth? Endearment? He had already felt like the Alcor was another home, just as much with most he voyaged. He felt content, happily helping the people he met, doing simple errands, offering services, advice, and literature, whilst managing to play a tune or two. But upon seeing you...
So then I add... Kazuha? Kazuha. And here I thought you were always aware of your surroundings.
Kazuha paused. You were right. It wasn't a secret that he grew to enjoy your company. Maybe even more than that of simply respect upon sharing ideals. But why? Why was it that in such a brief period you had become important to him? Had it simply been friendship like that of Goro? Had it been his inclination to repay you of your bravery in fighting alongside him? Was it because you two were of such caliber as Beidou?
Listen.
There you two are.
A sudden voice interrupted, bursting through the door in a relieved smile.
Delivery for one floating emergency food.
She joked as Paimon strode in.
Paimon is not emergency Even Paimon's getting tired of saying that. And you. You.
Paimon's glare seemed comical, serving as a reminder that you indeed left her to sleep as you fished.
Oh, and as for me...
Beidou continued, deciding against the offered seat adjacent to the pale-haired man, since she needn't stay.
I was just about to ask where you two would like to go this time.
Go?
Yeah, we technically don't have a destination yet.
Paimon flew closer in a panic.
Hey! You mean to tell Paimon that we've been sailing aimlessly this entire time?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Beidou teased. You and Kazuha shared a smile at this, and him more at the momentary reprieve, albeit coming in the form of boisterous companions. Quite the irony that the people who weave their way towards importance were ones who were not particularly in tune with silence. Meanwhile, you gave Beidou's quip a good thought. There was an endless list of options, one including heading straight to Sumeru. But even though it was tempting to blindly push through, it was more than due for a well-earned rest.
If only sailing home was an option too.
Kazuha glanced at you, who unknowingly verbalized their thoughts, then to Beidou.
Liyue. Sounds good to me. You guys can have a little rest, while it gives me an excuse to stock up on supplies and liquor.
She mused, quick and determined.
Plus, I kinda miss the taste of what Liyue has to offer. Better also check how Ningguang's doing.
Her long strides presented quite the difficulty when Paimon decided to tag along in a bantering fury as she left.
Hey! Paimon still has to talk to you about your lack of planning!
Isn't that simply the fun of traveling at times? Discovering new lands and going where the wind takes you.
You chuckled to yourself, amused at how things panned out, turning back to Kazuha. Only this time, he hadn't adorned his usual smile, nor poetic remarks.
Kazuha?
Albeit unintentional, this time you successfully managed to catch him off guard.
Something's bothering you, isn't it?
Huh? What do you mean?
Usually there'd be a subtly poetic or witty remark. Just about now.
Kazuha's smile returned as he faced you, eyeing the fish once, which was finally put on the grill.
Oh, don't be surprised. You're not the only keen person around here.
You joked, before promptly pulling a seat for yourself.
Now, tell me, what's in your mind?
He too followed suit, relaxing before having his full focus on his company.
Well, frankly, you.
Kazuha's smile made it hard to determine whether he was merely teasing or had meant every word.
Well, I'm sorry for bothering you?
You pouted jovially, as if you took it personally. Kazuha's hand reached towards yours, playing along as he continued.
On the contrary, turmoil is the last you'd bring to my thoughts. A sense of calm always seemed to surround you, even in the most gripping of situations. The scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
You simply smile back, albeit confused at the depth of his words, such which he had anticipated.
Ah, yes, the scenery of the fish, kitchen. Although, on the contrary, it kind of makes me feel homesick.
He smiled, initially unsure of what to feel upon your lack of understanding. Relieved that his slipped emotions hadn't been uncovered? Frustration at his own confusion? Perhaps denial? A deep breath took in the soft scent of fish grilling behind you, mixed with the various scents that lingered. It felt all too comfortable, and thankfully, seeing as it was Kazuha's recipe, you got to enjoy it for a while. After all, he disliked rushed meals.
Say, Kazuha, don't you ever miss home?
You had blurted out before realizing that you would have been probably met with the same tight-lipped silence he had responded with whenever asked of such. Instead, he shifted once before staring aimlessly.
I both do and don't.
You perked up at the response, inclined to stare at him and await elaboration, if there be any, whilst he then decided against meeting yours.
If by home you meant that of the Kaedehara clan, I don't. As such only entails duties and responsibilities I have no interest in. But as per my home, I don't think I have any need to miss it.
You grew confused.
Then where is the part you do miss it?
Home isn't an idle place. It's a feeling. One found in anything and everything. Be it the grandest of views or the softest of tunes. One that is built of wood or stone is simply a house. But the memories shared between the people you hold dear took part in its confinements. That's what home is.
He finally turned to you, eyes glazed with a feeling that couldn't easily be summed as one. Whether it be melancholy or otherwise, his tone remained the same.
In some ways, I do miss home. I used to think I lost mine upon losing the friends, people, or places I held dear. But as I wandered, I grew to understand that we're presented with meeting different people who we can choose to share it. Albeit, the occasional hesitation to share the old happiness, experiences, pains, memories, we created new ones with them.
Your head lolled downward as your cheek slid onto the table. Looking back, he's right. Albeit the longing to be reunited with your sibling, one couldn't deny the fact that you found a home along the way. People you met and traveled with, places you've seen, all a part of a big place you've unconsciously grown to call home for a while now. Upon the many worlds you visited, along with the good and bad, Tevat already holds a place in your heart. You felt the soft brush of his fingers lightly caressing your hair, blissfully unaware of Kazuha's reduced proximity.
I have wandered for a time, letting the wind take me to where it pleases, and yet I haven't the need to be homesick when the closest to home I have felt is now. You always seem to be around to give me a hand, just as much if not more than I. Thanks.
Both stilled, but not in discomfort, rather, the most tranquil that both have felt in a while.
Thanks, Kazuha, for sharing your home with me.
As I aforementioned, you do have a complex scent, that of which resembles nature, one I have always felt drawn towards. Come driving rain, or winds that churn, I shall return by blade alone, armed, if barefoot, to my home, which now includes you.
You returned his smile in kind, promptly moving from the table onto his shoulders.
Well, sharing a good meal has nothing to do with food, all to do with friends.
Kazuha paused, looking down at you in amusement.
Was that a haiku?
Maybe.
I'm glad to see you have learned a thing or two with the time we have spent.
Well, the mood calls for one. Okay, but how about you now? Hit me with your ever so confusing but elegant words.
Sunshine in your eyes, you had flowers in your hair. I'll never forget.
You laughed nervously in acknowledgement, understanding its literal denotation, and yet still finding confusion at what he truly meant.
See? Confusing. I guess I'll leave the artistry to you.
Poetry sometimes allows us to say what we don't usually have the courage to. There is no need to hide what you wish to say. I hear all voices in nature, and that includes yours.
Though hesitating, Kazuha leaned his head slightly over yours, but was quickly denied of the opportunity as you sprung up in evident panic.
No, the fish. Please don't be burned. That took too long to catch.
He watched in amusement as you tried to examine the dish's state.
The smell of ashes permeates through the breeze. Will we eat tonight?
You grumbled at a smiling Kazuha clearly teasing through his haikus.
Oh, shush. Only the skin got a little bit singed.
He smiled, muttering his heart's whisper to the wind.
With my selfishness, I long not your departure. Idle, even just a while.
You know, I wonder when they'll have kids.
How about getting married first?
I haven't seen Kazuha smile that much ever since... I guess the Traveler really is quite a remarkable person in more ways than one.
Well, I guess you're right about that at least. Beidou? Where are you going?
I'll tell Ningguang to ready the ceremony the moment we reach port. Oh, and to be ready for the many wandering samurais screaming, "Canadian Windblade!" sailing with us soon.
How quick do you think kids are made?
You're gonna have so many bloopers of me. It's gonna be like 20 minutes of just bloopers in the end.
If by home you meant that there's a motorcycle in the background, oh my...
Well, sharing a good meal has nothing to do with friends. All to do with food. I mean, friends, what?
I had already sensed your presence long before your
Girl boss of her. Oh, there goes me dog.
I'm glad to see you have learned a thing or two with the time we have
Ow.
Ah! I'm sorry.
You didn't do it.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Nothing gained. That was Xinyan. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I can't help it, I'm Southern!
As such only entails duties and responsibilities.
Oh, shush. Only the skin not a little bit what?
Well, it gives me an excuse to stock up. No. I'm so sorry. I am held to record with. Excuse to stock up. Nope, stuck up. Okay. We're doing this. I'm gonna flip this table.
Optimum Praito.
Better also check how Ningguang's doing. I can't word. Okay. Better also check how Ningguang's doing. I stammered. I guess the Traveler really is quite a remarkable... I guess the Traveler really is a... Nope. I missed a word. Quite a remarkable... I can't say remarkable. Quite a Why can't I do this right now? Remarkable. It's... I'll tell... Oh, and to be ready for the many wandering samurais... I'm gonna beatbox. This is so many words. Just enough time for the mini Canadian me, I can say it, also me. It's okay, I was like... like surprise Pikachu. Wait, it's not instantaneous? I thought it was like an overnight thing. Isn't that how it works? It all starts with a high five, right?
This is what Clay sounds like when she's constipated. Paimon isn't...
Wait, is that high enough?
Paimon is not emergency.
Sorry.
Even Paimon...
No, let me try that again. No? What? Where am I? I can't say Beidou as Paimon. Oh, I was still recording. I thought I stopped. Okay. Whoops. That was so unintentional.
Okay. How did you like the drink? Did you enjoy it? I really hope you did. Oh, and if you also like the ambience, I place the links down below in the description box where you can find music, art, and many more. Whilst my Discord tag is in the About section of my YT, so we can interact more if you'd like, as I mostly hang around there when the cafe's closed. Feel free to also subscribe and take a coupon to enjoy more of these. as we are open serving the bestest of drinks and tales made by yours truly, and our fellow baristas and bartenders voicing the characters. You know, here in the Comfy Cafe, we love to trade recipes with our beloved customers. So if you have a story of your creation, or would like to request certain characters or scenarios, as long as I am given permission, simply send me a message or comment, and I would gladly serve it out as our next special drink. Oh, and I'd love to hear what you thought of today's special, so please, do leave a like or comment down below before we part. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day and that we will meet again very soon. Stay hydrated, stay safe, bye.